Look, if you thought that I was going to run past 50 U.S. states and not hit the U.S. Virgin Islands, boom, you thought wrong. Today, we're going to explore which U.S. Virgin Island is great. There's 3 of them: St. John, St. Thomas, St. Croix, okay? And in this video, we're going to break down the stats on each of them, see which one's better for what type of personality you have. Each of them brings a wide range of benefits for a certain demographic. Now, in this video, you can finally see which demographic you fit in. Let's go, U.S. Virgin Islands. And before I get into it, thank you so much for subscribing. It means so much to me that you're digesting this content, that you like the content. So shout out to my subscribers. I only want to see this thing grow, and I only want to see people move smarter. So that's all I do. And if you're not already, why aren't you a part of the Smart Movers Club? It's a newsletter, a weekly newsletter I send out. And it's for folks like you that want to know the undervalued areas in America and the Virgin Islands here that you could live, work, invest in. So let's go and let's get started with U.S. Virgin Islands. Not all 3 are created equal. Break it down. St. Croix is the largest of all 3. It's the most affordable as well, and it has the most land for sale. Ding, ding, and ding. Okay, it's ideal for retirees, digital nomads, business owners looking for space, stability, and big word, tranquility. Let's go. St. Thomas is more commercial, more developed, okay? Perfect for those who want a vibrant nightlife, access to cruises and flights, and a faster paced lifestyle of the 3. Let's talk about St. John's. I know you know about St. John. Let's go. It's a nature-loving paradise with 60% of its land preserved for the National Park Service, okay? It's quiet, it's expensive, it's pristine. Great for artists, healers, and ultra remote workers. These are the folks that are off the grid and off their rocker. You know, they don't want to be involved in what you got going on. The madness, the noise, the traffic. They don't want it. They are off the grid. They're off in the island. They are the ones that put up the pictures of the beach, the tranquility, okay? And you don't know how to contact them. Email don't work, okay? Let's get into it with some numbers. We're going to also talk about cost of living, healthcare access, job opportunities, crime data, and how locals describe each island. Plus, we need to know about the internet speed. If you're going to move to the Virgin Islands, I don't want you to be disconnected from everything else. All right, let's talk about the internet speed, grocery prices, and how to get around. Very important. All right, so let's get right into it. If you dreamed about moving to the Caribbean, but which U.S. Virgin Island is actually best to live on? And we're going to get the overview of all 3 U.S. Virgin Island is that it's a U.S. territory, so you don't need a passport. No passport required. U.S. laws apply mostly, okay, just mostly. Definitely U.S. currency is exchanged there. Okay, no federal income tax on income earned in the territory if you're a resident. Did you know that? This is all 3. No federal income tax on income earned in the territory if you are a resident. Brief history and island breakdown. Here we go. St. Croix. Have a few friends that are cruising, okay? They love their rum. They love their peace. They love their quiet. They love their space. Cool people. And let's get right into it. Most affordable housing, as we mentioned. More local culture. Larger land mass. Like I said, it's the biggest of all 3. Growing small biz and solar scene, okay? The cons here are some areas struggle with crime, slower pace, right? So you love that, you like that, you dislike that, whatever. It's still slower pace, fewer flights. A friend of mine, when you think about going to St. Croix, most of the times you're jumping from Puerto Rico and then you hop on over to St. Croix. So that flight system, the flight destinations in St. Croix is a little challenging if you're not ready for it. And the prices of the flight could get very expensive. And you got to, prepare for your travel to St. Croix, okay? Ideal for retirees, land buyers, off-gridders, okay? You don't want to be bothered. St. Croix is the perfect place for you, okay? And it's a great vacation spot. And I'm going to get into another video where we talk about vacationing in these islands. Okay, but for right now, let's get to island number 2, St. Thomas. Again, I have a couple friends from St. Thomas. Again, very cool people, down to earth, honest, authentic. These from St. Thomas. Now, what is it? How do they call themselves in St. Thomas? I don't know. I know St. Croix, Crucian, St. Thomas, Thomasin. Yo, don't come for my neck. Please don't come for my neck. All right, here are the pros. Huge cruise port, okay? Vibrant city energy. Shopping, you got nightlife. You got easier transport around the island. Major airport hub, E-King Airport, right? The cons, higher housing costs. Busy and more commercial is what you're getting. And a friend of mine tried, I asked him, I said, hey, listen, what's the major difference? He says, listen, if you're on a cruise and you go to St. Thomas, once you dock, ooh, boy, you're about to get, let me do this, let me do that, let me give you this, let me buy that. It's a huge port, but also people got to eat, right? The hustlers are out there hustling. You're going to get bombarded. So that's a part of it where you don't kind of want that in your life, depending on who you are. If you're a tourist, that comes with the package. But that's an everyday hustle and bustle going on in St. Thomas. Tell me if I'm lying, okay? I want to know. Talk to me in the comments. Here we go. St. Thomas is ideal for entrepreneurs, city lovers, and frequent travelers, okay? Now the third island, St. John. I'm not even going to try to say what they call themselves over there, okay? Johnnians, listen, don't come for me. I don't know. I should know this. I just know St. Croix because I had a very good friend that was from there. So I know a little bit more about that island. Here we go. Pros. 60% of the land is protected. It's an eco paradise, okay? Safe, clean, and very low key. All right. Cons, expensive. And there's limited real estate on that island. And its access is only by the ferry. If you get boat sickness, ship sickness, water ship sickness, vertigo, and all of that stuff, living on this island, that you're probably not going to mess with, okay? So St. John's very secluded, very intimate, very private, and very expensive. It's ideal for artists, nature lovers, and remote healers. What is that? Don't know. But there's some remote healers going on in, what's the other place where people go and drink something and they kind of out their mind and meet their higher self and things like that. I forget. Is it Colombia? All right, let's keep it moving. Cost of living comparison. This is what it's all about. Let's talk about renting. Let's talk about groceries. This is monthly. Let's talk about gas per gallon. Let's talk about internet monthly. Let's talk about utilities on average for each of the islands. St. Croix comes in the lowest for rent for a 1-bedroom. You're looking between $950 to $1,300. St. Thomas, that picks up at $1,400 to $2,000. St. John, $2,200. Go live in New York. I'm only playing. It's beautiful, but it's $2,200 plus. Okay, groceries on a monthly average here. St. Croix, $550 to $700. Then you got St. Thomas, $650 to $850, and then you got St. John's, which is on average $700 to $900 a month. Let's go into gas. Gas per gallon. This is where it looks like California and higher. Okay, even Nevada. Nevada's gas prices is stupid, guys. I have a little thing. All you have to do is go to. And I'll leave the link in the description. If you ever want to see the gas prices really quick, all you have to do is go to, I'm going to show you right here. It's going to pull up. Damn, where? Come on. Don't do me like this live on TV. It's Gas Buddy. That looks better. Is it me? Go to gasbuddy.com and you can see it. Mississippi right now, the highest prices in the country is $4.71. That's in California. Actually, Hawaii takes that cake, but okay. So gasbuddy.com. Check that out. Anyway, let's get back with the gas prices. St. Croix, $4.75 a gallon. St. Thomas, $5 a gallon. St. John, $5.25. So you're seeing St. John with the most there. Internet on a monthly basis, this is where it's going to cost you no matter what, just to get that service, okay? Maybe you could go with Elon Starlink and get a cheaper rate, but for right now, internet in St. Croix, you're looking at between $75 and $100, $110. That doesn't change, similar to what we're paying here in the mainland. The hell is this, China? What am I talking about in the States? All right. St. Thomas, $85 to $125, and then St. John, your minimum is $90 to $130. Okay, utilities, seems like mostly the same across the board, between $250 and $450, with St. Croix capping at maybe $350 per month, St. Thomas $400 a month, and St. John $450 a month. So that's where we get. Here's the hidden costs and the perks of both the places. Shipping delays and import duties is no joke. You're trying to ship something there, trying to mail something there, you're paying, okay? Power outages, solar and cisterns are very important there because the power outages are no joke, especially when you're talking about hurricane season, and these places sometimes get slammed, and they have no power for weeks at a time. So you have to understand that, but you also have to get self-sufficient when it comes to kind of off-grid and untethering, okay, your lifestyle as well. Healthcare, Schneider is St. Thomas, Juan Lewis is St. Croix, limited options in St. John's. So think about that with your healthcare needs and your healthcare access needs, okay? Because remember, you got to take the ferry to the thing, then to take the thing, then jump the plane to the that, then get on the, you see what I'm saying? So if you're really in need of healthcare, think about these things very deeply. All right, local discounts and residency benefits do come with living in these. So the final verdict here, choose St. Croix for affordability and land, okay? Choose St. Thomas for convenience and energy. Choose St. John for peace and privacy. Which island, knowing all of that now, fits your vibe? I think for me, St. Croix would be it. And that's why St. Croix is coming up next. I'm going to give you a little hotspot and a secret area in St. Croix where you could vacation and just be off, like just peaceful. This place is perfect for, let's say you're an artist and you want to write a book. Let's say you are an entrepreneur, you're trying to set your goals. Let's say you've worked a long, hard year and you just want to relax without the noise and the hoopla and the tourists and the ports. I got this place in St. Croix that's coming up. But guys, if you love this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if this is your first time. Head over to StrizzyReport.com to be a part of the Smart Movers newsletter. Peace.